The elements of which are as follows. The offender, so meron kang offender, makes an attack, employs force, makes serious intimidation, or makes a serious resistance. That the person assaulted is a person in authority or his agent. That at the time of the assault, the person in authority or his agent is engaged in the actual performance of his duties. Ito yun. Dito nagka-problema sa actual performance of his duties. Dito sa direct assault, actually dalawa. Una niyang problema dito, mga kotsero, wala akong direct assault na naganap. It should involve a physical attack that gives an injury. As in talagang masasaktan si police. Yun yung direct assault. In this case, sabi ni Prosec, hindi pwedeng direct assault kasi hindi serious yung force. Ang force is hinawakan lang sa dibdib. Pinigilan lang ng gano'n. Ang ating pong topic ngayon, mga kotsero, ay yung pagkakabasura sa mga kaso ni Sara. Tingnan natin kung ano ba naging dahilan. Ang sinasabi niya, bilang vice-presidente, siya daw ay may immunity from suit. Hindi rin daw siya pwedeng kasuhan. Sabi niya, dahil siya daw ay President in Reserve. Oh, yeah, may bago tayong tawag kay Sara. President in Reserve. Alam ko, troll lang to, pero gusto ko siyang pansinin. VP yan, kumpara mo sa pulis. Dapat rumespeto ang pulis sa VP ng Pilipinas. Yan ang turo ng PNP, lalo na't babae. Alam niyo naman siguro, basta babae, laging tama. Nakakalimutan niyo na ba? Ang daming problema sa sinabi mo, boy. Unang-una, gender na ba nagdidikta ngayon kung sino ang tama at mali? Hindi ba katotohanan? Hindi ba may batas ka man titignan? Bakit? Babae na ba batas? Pag babae ka, batas ka na. Ganun ba yun? Pangalawa, kahit vice-presidente siya ng Pilipinas, kung merong lawful order or kung merong person in authority who is executing or performing he is acting in the performance of his duty, ay hindi, masusunod yung police. Which is actually, mga kotsero, yun yung naging problema sa kaso na to. Kasi mga kotsero, it seems sa interpretasyon ng prosecutor who did the investigation. Sa kanyang investigasyon, nakita niya na si Villamor is not a person in authority. And he is not functioning within the performance of his duties or official duties. He's not performing within his duties. Kasi, actually, feeling ko, ang nagka-problema dito, pati si House of Representatives, nagka-problema din sila dyan. Kasi hindi nila binigyan ng authority si Villamor. Halimbawa, ganito ho, mga kotsero. Ito, pupunta muna natin. Puntahan natin yung decision. Findings. Sa unang kaso ng direct assault, the elements of which are as follows. The offender, so meron kang offender, makes an attack, employs force, makes serious intimidation, or makes a serious resistance. That the person assaulted is a person in authority or his agent. That at the time of the assault, the person in authority or his agent is engaged in the actual performance of his duties. Ito yun. Dito nagka-problema sa actual performance of his duties. Dito sa direct assault, actually dalawa. Una niyang problema dito, mga kotsero, wala akong direct assault na naganap. It should involve a physical attack that gives an injury. As in talagang masasaktan si police. Yun yung direct assault. In this case, sabi ni Prosec, hindi pwedeng direct assault kasi hindi serious yung force. Ang force is hinawakan lang sa dibdib. Pinigilan lang ng gano'n. So, kung pagbabasihan natin yung jurisprudence, hindi nga siya pasok. There is no denying that VP Duterte Carpio and Colonel Lachica did not attack, employ material force, seriously intimidate or seriously resist Police Lieutenant Colonel Villamor. The act of placing a hand over the chest, pushing and shoving does not constitute attack or physical force. To be considered as direct assault, the laying of hands or the use of physical force must be serious. The force exerted must be more severe than just slapping and punching. Ito may jurisprudence to. This is not the case here. Clearly, the acts attributed to VP Duterte Carpio and Colonel Lachica do not satisfy the stringent criteria for direct assault. Yun yung una. Pero, eto may problema. Kasi mga kotsero, at the very least, dapat yung pangalawang kinaso, yung resistance and disobedience to a person in authority. Ito, ang sinabi ng Prosec dito, hindi na-establish ni Villamor na siya ay person in authority. Obviously, may resistance. Pinigilan eh. Di ba hinawakan sa dibdib? Tapos yung security ni Sara, tinulak pang ganun sila Chika. Sila Chika, tinulak pa si Villamor. So, obviously, merong disobedience and resistance. Obviously. Pero, ang sinabi ng Prosec, wala siyang authority doon sa lugar. Wala siyang authority in the situation. Ayan the fact that Police Lieutenant Colonel Colonel Villamor was not engaged in the actual performance of his official duties during the incident has already been discussed. And then the alternative requirement that there be a lawful order given, a close perusal of the averments of the complaint affidavit and supplemental complaint affidavit will reveal that there is none. So, ibig sabihin, mga kotsero, si House of Representatives failed to empower their own people. During that time, siguro ang pwedeng ginawa ni House of Representatives, okay, Lieutenant Colonel Villamor as the doctor, as the physician, police physician here in the House of Representatives, kindly assist in the moving of Zulaika Lopez to this hospital. Pag ganon, meron kang lawful order. Kaso mo mga kotsero, may problema ka ngayon. Paano kapag hot pursuit? So medyo baka magkaroon ng mukhang may hindi magandang president ito. Kasi yun yung sinabi ni Prosek eh. Wala tayong magagawa, yun ang sinabi ni Prosek. Kasi merong isang jurisprudence dyan. 2246679, dinefine nila kung anong disobedience to authority. Ngayon, nakasulat po dito, the laying of hands or using physical force against agents or of persons in authority when not serious in nature constitutes resistance or disobedience under Article 151 and not direct assault under Article 148 of the Revised Penal Code. So, ibig sabihin mga kotsero, dahil tinulak ni Sara Duterte at tinulak nila Chiga, kita naman sa video eh, paalis si Villamor para i-assist yung pag-transport kay Zulaika Lopez sa hospital. It should constitute resistance or disobedience under Article 151. Pero, anong sinabi ni Prosek? Ang sabi ni Prosek, wala kang jurisdiction doon eh. That is not in the actual performance of your duty. Lieutenant Colonel Villamor was not engaged in the actual performance of his official duties. Now, mga kotsero, it begs the question, who does? Who has jurisdiction over the person of Zulaika Lopez during that time? Was Sara Duterte engaged in the actual performance of her duty during that time? Hindi rin ho. Ang tanong ngayon, tulad nga rin sinabi ko, as a law student, my question now is, syempre kailangan malinaw sa akin yan. So anong dapat ang who has jurisdiction? Who has authority over the person of Zulaika Lopez? Clearly, it is the House of Representatives. Sara Duterte cannot be the lawyer of Zulaika Lopez. Hindi ho pwede si Sara Duterte maging abogado ni Zulaika Lopez kasi bawal ho yun. Any client. She cannot practice her legal her profession as a lawyer kapag elected ka. You cannot. Hanggang pirma ka lang. So bakit siya nandun? So kaya hindi ko naintindihan. Yun yung hindi ko maintindihan dito actually. Pwede dapat yung resistance and disobedience to a person in authority. Kaso ang question nga ng Prosek, hindi ko naman sinasabing mali yung Prosek. Ang sinasabi ng Prosek, hindi si Villamor ang person in authority. Okay, wala problema. Kung hindi si Villamor ang person in authority, then who? In this situation, mga kotsero, who has authority? Who has, di ba? Sino ang may dyan? Authority sa kanilang dalawa. Jurisdiction over the person of Zulaika Lopez. Question lang naman yun. Hindi ko kino-question ang desisyon ng Prosek natin. Siyempre, respeto natin yung mga piskal natin. Nagtatanong lang ako. As a law student and, aspiring lawyer in the future, ayoko magkamali sa mga ganyang bagay. So, in this kind of situation, in this specific context, sino may jurisdiction? Kasi kung hindi si Villamor na pulis, sino? Si Sara? Hindi naman siya kamag-anak ni Zulaika Lopez. So, medyo question. Sa akin, it's a question. It's a question really. Who has the jurisdiction, quote-unquote, sa person ni Zulaika Lopez? Kasi kung hindi si Villamor at hindi si Sara Duterte, sino? Sa grave coercion, ang decision nila is ganun din. Kasi nga, wala siyang authority. Si Villamor, wala raw siyang authority doon sa sitwasyon. So, sino nga ang may authority? At ang ang pangwalo, ito yung yung mga witnesses ni Villamor, hindi siya kinampihan ng mga witnesses niya. Yung mga kampi niya, hindi siya kinampihan. Yung mga dapat magiging rest back niya, hindi siya ni rest backan. 'Di ba? May dalawa nga hindi pumirma. So, wawa naman si Villamor na iwan sa ere. Kaya ayun, na-dismiss yung kaso. Ayan, dismiss. So, ano lang, medyo, well, let's take it as it is, di ba? Yun ang decision ng, ng PROSEC. Wala tayong magagawa. They can file an appeal, hindi pala appeal. Pwede silang mag-file ng motion for reconsideration dito. Tapos kapag na-deny ulit, magpe-petition sila for review sa, sa DOJ, through the DOJ secretary. Pero, ang weird lang quasi authority, di ba? Hindi natin alam. Doon sa, direct assault, yun, sure ako doon, wala talaga yun. Maling kaso yun. Dapat di na niya sinama yung direct assault. But, at the very least, mga kotsero, dapat yung resistance or disobedience to a person in authority could have been a valid case. Kaso nga lang, hindi raw na-establish yung kanyang authority.